Well, when we last left off, our heroes had been going about busy days throughout the week, getting to know Hearthvine, going on PR circuits, and generally starting to feel a little bit more at home in Hearth. Dale and their ally, Kelly, had taken up residence in a garage, a tucked away hidden location in Montcamus that had once been a Strauss-mobile repair shop, but was now being retrofitted the workspace of two tinkering artificers. As such, they had been cloistered in this area the whole entire week, and the rest of the group had visited at odd times or too busy to stop by. Had all agreed to come on the at the end of the week and take a look at Dale's new workspace. Heading in through this underground passageway in a Strauss-mobile, you drive through drained sewers and open gates until you come in front of a circular dais surrounded by a large aquarium. The aquarium is curved and spans the inside of this circular room, and there's a bit of a moat that surrounds in the center a circular dais about 60 feet in diameter, wherein a bunch of couches and armchairs and pillows have been set up around a coffee table with some tea sets and a bunch of notepads, and it's in the crashing space of Willem and Maya since they arrived in the city. And as the whole crew kind of gets together again for the first time in a week, Jack informed them of his plan to create a strange invention, feeling an odd abomination of sorts. Multi-tentacled and large in size. The group was a bit nervous about it, especially considering the final ingredient had been something he had learned inside of the recently recovered Demonomicon, or the Index Infernum, had once been stolen from the Marabasi Manor. He waited for the moons to align and shine in through the glass pyramid ceiling over the circular dais. All arranged herself, readied with weapons, and nervously watched as a few of your allies held down tentacled limbs of this monstrosity. Moon finally cast its light on its figure. It spasmed into life. It was a struggle. Lights flickered for a brief moment amidst it all. But finally, after a minute, Jack was able to attune to it with his control rod, a odd staff that he had embedded within it, a Miyogi. Things calmed down and the creature became like a docile pet. I looked around and realized I was off about this place. Layers of dust cover every surface. And though the things that you had there remain, other bits of memorabilia clutter the living space. Lying years, experience, and history. Future. You can taste it in the staleness in the air. Years happened inside of this place. You scan your eyes over the environment, and you can note your handwriting, bits and pieces meant to repair projects you've thought about but not yet made. As you're investigating, it buzzes up. Life. Mechanical dragonfly. Wings in its belly alight. Soft blue glow. Hovers right in front of you.
Huh. Hey, Simon, is this the dragonfly you were talking about before?
Simon looks at it.
Remarkably similar. The one you saw was glowing, but yeah.
Mostly.
And how did it start as a message? You touched it?
Maybe? I think. I'm not quite sure what all happened.
Rana steps forward, says, "It was I that touched it, actually. I was uncertain. I thought that it might have been an abandoned hive, but something about it was odd. The moment I touched the hive, it opened and a recorded message came out. Someone heard it. Took a picture of the both of us. At least had the flash of something taking a picture. And the dragonfly kind of buzzes into the middle of your group. He's pointing and looking directly at you, though, Zale.
Is it gonna beat you up? I want to see this happen.
So, kind of reaches out and just gently touches it.
See as suddenly a flicker of lights kind of dance in front of it. It end up spelling out with a soft blue glow a series of words.
Huh.
Don't belong here. This is private property, and its owners have been notified of your presence. Not try to flee the scene.
Huh.
The words remain there.
I guess that means it alerted us? She stares right back up the sky and at the dragonfly and just lays down looking at the stars. I don't even know. I know it's the same day, but I don't know what the year is. Don't mind me, guys.
Can I? Can I check if I made this?
Do you want to try and catch it?
Yeah.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, versus sleight of hand. Nope. I don't steal anything.
Around your hand.
You're acting like it's an... You need to catch it like if it's, you know, a machine. Here, get some oil. And she'll just...
I don't think that's how it works.
Well, let me try.
Can Babette try and grab it?
Yeah, she's gonna...
Yeah, you can give me a sleight of hand check.
Much better.
What do you roll?
19.
Oh, yeah. Grab it, and the lights turn off, and it folds up into your hand as its wings fold in. It's now dormant. Seems to have turned off.
See?
Sketch.
She's a slippery
She
person.
hands it over to Vale.
She uses oil. That's herself.
So looks it over.
Give me an investigation check.
And as she hands it to you, she says, "Where the fuck are
Investigation. 17.
I don't know, we might, there's a discrepancy here, given the environment and the stars. Something seems off. I don't know yet. But for right now, I can tell you we are in Hearthfine.
I'm gonna roll an investigation for Eliza. And she runs a finger through the dust. And she's just writing notes and silently adding data. Okay, Eliza.
There's usually one star that you can focus on that has a very interesting trajectory, a certain wobble to it.
Oof.
Now, 13. You have a hard time telling. As far as you can tell, Eliza, it's probably been at least 10 years since anybody's been in here, but you don't have any idea for how long it actually has been. But you're still looking around and stuff. There's a lot of stuff in here. Something's about is sure to start creating a timeline soon enough. Hanu, you're observing the stars, but you only get a small window of it through a glass window that you've got there.
Yeah.
It's going to take you a little while of waiting to see the stars move before you can tell what year it is.
Yeah.
Or you could climb up and try and get onto a rooftop and have a much wider view of the sky. If you can see, one of the windows is broken, by the way,
Oh,
and there does appear to be an old rope that's actually dangling down through the broken window that's been tightened up onto the ledge on the top.
okay. Shit. Here's the thing, guys. She motions towards the rope and towards the ceiling. I could go up there to observe it, but the observatory, an observatory would help me out drastically because it has tools, but I can also be clairvoyant, do a quick scan. I don't know what I'm going to see, but I need somebody to, I'm gonna be, I guess, deafened to the world for a bit. I don't want to climb up there right away without knowing what we have in store, so if somebody can just be vanguard for me, it'd be greatly appreciated.
I think all of us can be. It's not like we have anything else pressing.
Alright.
I actually look at these notes section right now, because I would get moved over to my desk with the notes.
Give me some time, and she'll pull out her sketchbook. I will record everything that I see, and I will state out loud things that I hear. But if I start, I sometimes don't know what I'm doing. If you see me, seizing up or something else, just find a way to snap me out of that, okay?
Don't worry, we've got it.
Okay.
Cack will slap his new friend.
Don't mind me then. And she will go into clairvoyance, go into a trance, and I'm just gonna go, I want to see, I'll press it on here.
Both work now.
Yeah, for some reason put on a self-roll, so here, let me just make that, but also, how long does it take for casting? I think it is a long casting time.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
You also have the 100 gold for focus?
She has that stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's go. So 10 minutes. While she's doing that, then Sel's good look at the desk with all the notes. Because it's all that. I mean, if this is
You're choosing to see, right?
Yeah, she's seeing first.
Yeah. Alright, cool. And so your vision becomes very fish-eyed for a moment. And where are you manifesting this initially? Right in the room with you?
She has been in the area before, because I don't think I can move it, right? It needs to be right.
No, so are you trying to put it up on the ceiling or on the roof?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
she's gonna put it right on the roof.
Yeah, cool. So you're doing that and setting that thing for the next 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Your vision is there pretty much almost immediately, but it takes you about 10 minutes for your third eye to open, essentially.
Yeah.
All right. So your consciousness in your mind is already no longer around you, and you can't hear anything that's happening around you at the moment.
Mm.
Right. For the next 10 minutes, as you work on this spell, your concentration delved into it. You're getting a bit more of your third eye kind of opening in this other location. You could drop this at any time, or if somebody were to, you can hear what's going around you. Sorry, you can't see what's going around you. Your third eye is sort of opening in this other location. Pack, you're just getting to know your new buddy, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. He'll do his best to keep an eye out for Honu, like she asked, but yeah, he's pretty much just sitting down with his new friend.
I'm talking about my best friend.
It
Pretty much.
heaves and breathes, but there's no sound that comes from it as it moves next to you, silent and accompanying. It is still and quiet and comforting. A beautiful abomination.
So gorgeous.
In fact, you're really comfortable with this giant, horrendous creature, majestic monster. And Babette, what are you doing for the meantime for the next 10 minutes?
On guard, just like, she has a task now, and that task is to make sure that nothing gets near Hanu. So she's just vigilant and trying not to freak out.
All right. Zale, you've been working on tinkering and taking that thing apart. And you figure out that you're using the workstation that's there to take it apart, and you actually see notes and stuff, but then your handwriting associated with it. So you assume it's probably something you made, maybe. It's hard to tell. There's no signature stamp on it particularly, but you do see notes of it that have your handwriting and your notation. You do see a couple of other notes and in the margins of it and stuff. It seems to be somebody else's handwriting. They don't really say anything other than adding on to the schematics, essentially, finishing up little bits and pieces. So there seems to have been a second person involved with different handwriting, but largely, very possible you made this one.
Kind of, so...
Possibly consulted with somebody else.
Yeah. Huh. Inquisitively, it didn't... Kind of looks at what I was working on with this person. What exactly was I working on with this person? Something important?
And that's the only piece here that you see any of their handwriting associated with. The rest of it's all your stuff. Kelly rushes off over to her own workspace, and there is a lumbering behemoth. Buster, you saw being assembled at her workstation over the last week, is a pretty big thing, but this thing is massive. It is an iron giant, and looking at it, she's just in love with it, right? It's like a little tear, I'd always wondered and dreamed about it. It come true. And you guys, your stuff, looking around that same investigation check, looking at those notes made you look at the rest of it to see if they were perhaps part of other things that you're working on here, but you don't see it anywhere. You notice a lot of other projects you've been working on, including your universal tool. At which point you actually notice several bits and pieces for repairing it, like replacement parts, enough that you would be able to make your own universal tool if you put them all together. You also notice that there are an odd collection of like little notes pinned to places, right? And these notes don't really seem to be related to that same research. There's another project that was being worked on, but not at this workstation necessarily. Maybe the rest of the garage has more to tell about it. But reading over these notes, you see a few things in your handwriting. See the word shutter space. Some doodles on it that seem to show something that give me an Arcana check.
Arcana.
Advantage.
22.
22. So looking at it, the little doodle seems to like be a rough doodle of like a time bubble of some sort. And then the word shutter space written next to it. You also see on a pinned note next to it in your handwriting, "Don't look at it." It is written in capital letters.
Knowing my own handwriting, it's like, okay, that's important. Great.
What have you found?
Funny. Oh, yes.
Anything important or just engineering?
May not. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to put things together.
What are the pieces?
These pieces, this is just for a universal tools making, but these little notes right here, he points out with the one with the shutter space, and the one says, "Don't look." This is
Well,
definitely,
that's ominous.
yeah. I mean, we'll definitely know once. I think Hana gets a good eye of when we're at. Is a good.
So this is time travel then. This is what we have
Yeah.
done. We are now in a different time than the one that I am used to. This is fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for bringing me along on your adventures. I love it. It's great, really.
Listen.
How far in the future do you think we've gone? He said, looking around really nervously.
I mean, from. I guess just based off the dust and how it was when I first got to the garage, it looks like this hasn't been used for years. Decades, maybe?
Hanu's able to hear you guys, right? She just...
She can hear.
Listen, we were told that there is a machine that can help us do this. Lunar events are known throughout history to have peculiar side effects. I think we might be glimpsing into something, putting our heads inside the water and seeing what's underneath the surface of this lake. Never go into a lake when the moon's shining on it. Unless
Waxing and waning. That was something you always made sure to note about. When, from my timeline, moons are waxing or waning determines whether you go to the future, the past.
So...
I always heard that they took you to the Feywild, but okay.
Yeah, there's that too.
that's a different
Either
scene.
way, moon stuff is always dangerous. Sit cack.
How's your wound, Arthur?
I'm doing all right.
Yes, very sorry about that.
Sure, back you can see that he must have healed the wound at some point.
Zarman was also here, so. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little stiff, but nothing to worry about.
Yes, yes, I was very sure that it wouldn't be too damaging, but I am sorry. I appreciate your help.
Don't worry about it. I
But
mean,
look
it's
at this
under our
magnificent
control
creature.
now, right?
Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
control it
normally.
completely now. I'll
I
tell it to
mean-
sit. Get it to sit down.
It's this lumbering beast kind of puts two of its tentacles to part of like up itself up a little bit, and it almost has like an almost dog-like physique as its back tentacles kind of curl up for its mount on, and it's just like sitting there now. It's got just the most wicked looking fucking face with that long fucking jaw, and it's fucking yeah, God. Yeah.
ugh.
That thing is definitely a nasty beast.
The one
Yes,
thing,
it's going to do a good job of protecting me, I think.
the one thing that I'm curious
Okay.
about is from that vision that we were given by Maiko. Seemed like her eyes were able to see possibilities. I feel like this is an instance of that. Just a little bit different shade of it.
I mean, it certainly feels a little different. Can't quite put my foot on it. I've time traveled a lot, and something about ever since I got here, giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Definitely weird.
Oh,
Maybe
so you guys don't normally feel this way when this happens. That's good to know.
Yeah,
The eeriness is feels like we just don't belong here.
Probably.
And Hanu, your eye kind of opens at this moment, and you can see the Hearthbind cityscape taller, much taller. There's a pretty heavy fog going on at the moment. A lot of the roofs are covered with snow. The streets themselves are laden with it. It's cold and it's winter and it's chilly outside. And there's a dense winter fog dominating as far as you can see. But through it are the vague outlines of somewhat magically lit spires. And the whole place is different than you remember it. And there's some people walking outside, but you're looking at them and you realize there's this odd sort of, like you're looking through water, you know, like from underneath the water, and you're looking up at somebody on the shore. That's what it looks like when you're looking at everybody on the street right now. It's odd, and at first you think that maybe it's something wrong with your you at first you think that it's something wrong with your casting, right? Maybe an effect, but you've done divinations enough to know that you see things rather clearly once that eye opens, and this is not like that. And when you look up at the sky, it doesn't have that same effect. But there is a slight like warble effect going on around you, and a lesser extent above you. Perhaps it's further up than you can tell, but there's some sort of barrier or dome covering this entire building at the moment, and all of the shops surrounding it. This whole block seems to be covered in it.
okay, yeah. She's
The garage, as you know it, is a structure that is like surrounded by buildings, so that there isn't access to it from the street side. Only from the rooftops or underneath would you be able to notice that it's there. and none of them even see this stuff. But that whatever that warble effect is covering not only your building but the buildings that are surrounded.
Yeah. As she's doing this, she's rapidly drawing things, ripping the paper out, and then going to a different section and drawing it and ripping it out. So it's just rapid sketching, detailed in where it needs to be.
Babette is collecting them as you
And
draw.
she will switch over to listening to see if there's anything. She would have like casted it not directly above the pyramid, but a little bit out, kind of on the ledge. So then she
Just before you go to cut it off, you see as a Strauss-mobile goes like driving past through the snow, and you switch to sound as it disappears into the fog, and you can hear the sound of it fading away now into the distance, even after you've lost sight of it. And you can hear the sound of lots of like humming and conversation, and a few people walking on the sidewalks outside of this, are chatting about things. You can hear music playing off of some radios. There's things going on. Life still in the city. It seems to be stuck in a pretty terrible winter at the moment. But other than that, you don't really hear anything outwards. Give me a perception check, though.
Okay.
Make out individual sounds out of this. You can hear a radio and you can hear some songs. You can't even hear the lyrics of the songs.
She's just gonna say, "Hit me up with guidance here," and she
Someone will give the good shoulder rub.
okay. She relaxes a little bit.
Could we say that Eliza also gives a nice little shoulder rub?
Your intuition.
There you go.
Plus 2d4. Oh. Not that
Rapidly
good.
roll.
14. Not that good.
Oof.
You hear something on a radio, it's a little distorted, far away. You do you speak Dwarven?
Nope. But she will repeat. She's repeating whatever she's hearing out loud, so it's gonna be a really bad one.
Give me a performance check. Does anybody else speak Dwarven in the group?
Let's get studying Dwarven, but not yet. Don't have it yet.
Impeccable translation.
What was it?
She got a
Your
16
rolls are-
in speaking. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
you're
private.
still
Oh,
learning.
okay. It's on
Yeah.
self roll. Okay, whoopsies.
Yeah, so that's where we're like, what did
Reveal
you
to
get?
everybody. Reveal.
Oh, yeah, you did
Babette
get
put
14
like
on
a ton of effort into trying to remember this so that she can try and repeat it.
You
That
can
would
give
be
me a history check real quick. Be dual purpose.
Would I be proficient in it because it's Avalian?
Yes.
Okay, so then add +3 to the.
Anything that you've got that's intelligence would work. If you have any of those.
So 82.
And you would know what they're saying, but you'd recognize the accent as being Yalamite.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay, she's good.
I would say that sounds like Yalamite Dwarvish.
Okay, she's gonna try to see if
I
there's.
would recognize the language, I just wouldn't understand what it's saying,
Yeah.
right?
She will.
Exactly.
She's
Okay.
going to look to see if there's any. Like she'll transform back into to sight and try to focus on any kind of big signs or billboards or something.
Give me a perception check.
Good shoulder rub.
Okay, plus 1d4. $17.
Looking around, the only sign that you're able to make out is because it's backlit, actually, and it is ostentatiously a Photoshop of like just the face of Prince, and he seems to be holding like some sort of like bottled drink, but you can't really read the sign or anything from here. You just see the part that's backlit, which is just the part that has him holding this bottled drink. That's bottle is colored purple.
Alright, she will write that down. She's like, I'm sorry, I can't really focus too well tonight. And she'll continue back, deafened to everybody else, trying to see if there's at least another group of people that swing by, and then she'll try to switch automatically to hearing. But that will be what she does for the next 10 minutes when she has the spell up.
Little sticky
And
notes around the garage.
Are you able to see the sky more clearly this time?
now, you listen for a little while, and some people walk by. They're talking in practical gibberish to you. Something about, a bunch of conch heads at a show that they were getting dubious at, and you're not really certain what any of that really meant. But you catch that a couple of people slide in, like yell them greetings when they're walking past each other in the streets. Not all the alien ones, and that strikes you particularly odd.
She will state the phrasings that she's hearing out loud, and hoping everybody else will pick up on that subtlety of, yeah, Yillum.
Huh. As I was kind of listening to this, kind of thinking. Now, this is just a theory I have. This is just a theory. Maybe this is, in a sense, an alternate timeline. Not just going to the future, but in the future of an alternate timeline. Where maybe Yellow won the
So
war.
give me a second. So not only is time not just like a thing that happens, we experience it, we can fuck around with it, but there's also other versions of us,
Yes.
and they also can time travel.
An
Yeah.
infinite number of other versions of us.
I hate you all.
There are 3 versions of me in your timeline alone.
Yeah.
Bubba just sits down on the floor.
But my guess is what we are right now is an alternate timeline where I guess Yellum won the war against Avo. If you're seeing their boards and their talks, it sounds like they might have won.
I mean, the war is just gearing up. Where
I found the radio, y'all.
do we
I
want
actually got it
to turn it
working.
on? Do we want to turn that on?
I mean, what's the harm in listening? Isn't that what Hanu's doing?
Yeah. I mean, they give us a better indication of when we are. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
So you turn it on and you go, yeah. That popping tune just came to you on VH Crosshairs. Get ready for this new sick, wicked tune. People say they haven't heard a pop punk band like this since the Advocates. Let's see what you guys think. And then a song suddenly turns on the radio, and they're singing in Yelamite German. Good stuff. You know, you do not understand what instruments you're hearing, though. All right, it's like this odd, almost like static kind of sound. Maybe it's because it's coming through the radio, right? There's an almost electricness going on with these instruments.
Oh, this is very odd.
Well, music certainly has changed.
That band topped 1983's Top 100.
Oh,
It's the third time in several years.
Well,
oh.
Pretty wicked. This next band is a classic. And bringing up the Advocates without playing an old familiar tune, you won't hear the end of it. And then a song comes on the radio, and you hear as an old familiar voice kind of sings through. It's actually the same song you heard her playing that first night.
Oh no. Oh.
1983? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, we're 44 years in this future timeline. Uh-huh. 44 years.
So Babette is trying to sound angry, but you can actually see that she's fucking terrified.
Yeah, that's below all our passes. Okay. 4 years. Interesting. Okay, I definitely need.
Oh yeah,
to
just interesting. You know, just interesting. Just that's the way that you react to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find more of these notes. Maybe this wood.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go do a little scouting myself. 1983 sounds pretty cool to me.
Arthur, just
Someone
Last
can
time
shake
you
her
went
awake
scouting.
if you guys are.
So would have ended at this point in time.
Yeah. There's a barrier up above. I don't know what that means. But if anybody's gonna go scouting, be aware of it. Make sure nobody sees you. I can't stop anybody.
And apparently
from
don't
looking
look at anything.
let's just say this here and now, just so we have a method, a plan. If thing goes awry, come back here. I don't understand exactly what's happening right now, but I feel like it would be good to come back to how we got here.
Nobody leaves
yeah,
unless in
get it.
pairs, okay? I don't want any of us to get separated. Arthur, just bring somebody along who can contact us back.
I don't know, a lot of you have really heavy footfalls. No offense, Armin.
None taken.
She looks tired over to Azael. Please just give us a mode of communication as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
I
I'll figure something out.
don't have that spell prepared, and I really don't want to be burning it out. Especially in a time that I
As
don't
long
know.
as we stay within 150. I'm sorry, I'm not at my computer right now. As long as we stay close, I can message you guys. I can go with Arthur.
Right, and she will briefly describe the clothes that she saw some of these people wearing, so then you look a little bit more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This bubble that you drew, it's covering the shops around us, right?
Yep, within the block, it seems.
So, let's loot for a couple of less conspicuous clothes. We can return them when we
Babette changes her outfit to kind of something along the lines of what Hanu described, and does this work?
It does. It's also kind of cold, it seems like, so keep that in mind.
Fantastic.
An outfit is mostly socks. Really, that's what people are wearing these days. The colors or patterns even match.
I don't know.
This is strange.
I really
Strange.
understand.
It has to be Prince's fault.
Most likely. Well, in any case, I think in any indication of how if either this is a temporal thing or a way to get back, it's definitely here. Definitely one of these. It feels like looking at the sticky notes and kind of going around. Definitely with these sticky notes. So just be
And
safe.
apparently somebody's coming here because they were notified. Well, we'll see how that pans out too.
Oh yeah, we probably shouldn't go too far. Still, I'd like to get a lay of the buildings surrounding us. At least the inside of the bubble.
That's fair. I'll start looking into what was working here. See if I completely understand what's exactly happening. I think I'm getting a hint of it, but I definitely want to understand what exactly is happening. And Zell goes to searching for the sticky notes. Brought the garage.
I guess we can keep the radio on, see if they eventually talk about events or something happening right now.
Well, sorry I zoned out there. She says both in and out of character. I had to step away. What are we doing?
So Arthur and Babette are going to go kind of investigate the surrounding buildings. Zell is looking through his little notes throughout the garage to see if he can find a way of what's exactly going on and internally a way back, or if this is just a temporal thing. And I don't know what Zarman doing.
Zarman will attend to the radio, just listen to what the radio says, and yeah, find something
Alright, guys.
news related is said.
I am probably at my wit's end right now. I'm going to meditate. I'll wake up early in the morning to get this food. I'm just gonna retire for the night, okay? She'll.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
time is it? Ish?
It's like
It's midnight. It's just after midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just something. I bet you saw this too. Just if something weird happens, don't look. So,
I'm not a big fan of turning a blind eye to dangerous things.
yeah, but knowing me and knowing I don't usually write in all exclamation points and sentences, just if something weird happens, just don't look.
Here's the thing.
I wrote this for a reason.
Okay, Arthur, I must have taught you how to fight with a blindfold on. Use your other senses. How about that?
I mean, yeah, but that being said, that note could have been about anything. It's been here for who knows how long.
Yeah, but it was
Why
right
would it
next-
even have anything to do with us being here right now?
Well, it was right next to also this shutter bubble. And if this is, from my estimate, is my hypothesis, a temporal bubble we're in, then this note is equivalent. This note has something to do with it. I don't know what.
I have never heard of a temporal bubble.
Something I kind of made up in my theory.
Leave you to try and put that theory together. In the meantime, I'm gonna get a look at this bubble myself.
Do not cross the boundary. I can't reiterate that enough. And then
I'm not gonna cross it, I was just gonna throw something through it.
I should be fine.
Not an idiot.
as she's doing that, she's also looking to Babette just to make sure. Be like,
The look you're giving me is a don't let him do anything too stupid look.
but both of you guys, make sure
Oh,
nothing happens.
yeah.
No, you're included in this.
You're included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is way too terrified to do anything that's gonna like shake the boat, rock the boat.
Okay. Well, she says with her very intense, commanding voice, she wraps herself up in her winter blanket, almost as snug as her owl is right there. She just sits into her hammock and like, I don't know, Fee, if you want to join in on this cuddle pile, but I got this
I'm
right
gonna
over
listen
here.
to the radio.
Okay. See you guys in the
I
morning.
wonder what else has happened by 1983.
Remember to sleep, guys. Okay.
I'll turn in whenever
There's
Arthur
no way I'm gonna be able to sleep.
You're gonna be
I'll turn in whenever Arthur and Babette come back.
okay. All right, Fee, but we need
Oh,
you.
And the
yeah.
off chance they bring trouble,
I
I'll
wouldn't
be ready
sleep
at
while the
least.
time ghost probably hunting us. You should keep an eye out.
Pop one.
But yeah, I do agree that we should be sleeping in cycles anyway.
Yeah.
You can start now.
All right, and she'll have one eye.
And then NPC wise, who all's doing what?
She has her eyes open, like just one eye open, looking at Willem, Tirana, Kelly, and Maya. Fucking, what are you guys doing?
Kelly is looking through her notes at her artificer station and trying to sneak peek at how Buster 2.0 works. And Willem is like, well, I'll be with you in heart and spirit, but I think somebody should hold down the fort. Keep the tea kettle running, that sort of thing.
How fucking scared is Willem right now? Just like from a 1 to 10.
I mean, he did his nervous laugh. If he could bail, he would.
He's clearly terrified.
Alright.
And Toronto? How's she taking this? This is the first time she's time travel, I believe.
Anna's just like arms crossed, looking between everybody as y'all are discussing your plans. And then as you guys all kind of get there, like a conclusion on everybody's doing for this time period, he just walks over towards the couches and stuff, and is just sitting there at the couch. She ends up taking some of the tea that Willem offers her, and she
Starting her
looks
meditation.
yeah,
It's her
hysterically
equivalent of going to
meditating.
bed.
Exactly.
She's
Yeah,
exasperated.
Exactly. Yep. And
I swear, every time I'm with these guys, I'm done with this shit. Hell yeah.
yeah, stands there in the middle of it, arms crossed, eyes just kind of following everybody as they're talking, and then walks over to the table and then sits down and takes a teacup and closes her eyes and begins her trance.
Alright. What's Maya up to?
Could you confirm by morning, Hanu, that it is most certainly the year 1983?
Mhm.
Without equipment and stuff, you're able to ballpark that you're in the 80s. So 1983 jives.
Alrighty.
Jives.
Okay. Yeah. She would.
We're clearly in the 80s.
Yeah. She would have, like, before she went to sleep, she would have asked, just use the rope to go up. We don't open up any of the doors because we still don't know, what's out there. At least I can tell you there isn't any traps readily available on the roof. So come and go. You guys are
Right
pretty
there.
on your feet.
I'll bet PTSD.
Which is that thing. And pauses in front of the rope and looks at you, Babette, and goes, ladies first. You get up.
Yeah, Babette's having
I-
flashbacks right now.
Oh, you're too slow. He starts climbing the rope himself.
She flips him off.
Up to the top. Need a hand.
Yes, I may as well be safe.
Let's pull you up
And
the
she'll-
rope.
Well, this
You're
went better than
fine. No
last
check.
time.
That's time.
Nothing. Let's go.
Yeah. Is Maya gonna also scout with them, or what's she up to?
Maya is going to just start some meditative stances and martial arts training. She's just doing her like Tai Chi stuff, you know.
I have
I keep
the
mine,
Boots of Elvenkind, right, Dale?
Yes.
You gave those to me? Okay, good.
Yeah, because we did that thing that was easy. Quick off sell. There we go. So you do have them right now. So you have advantage on stealth.
And
Yay.
I think so. Give me a stealth check. Advantage.
60.
Oh boy. I'm
boy,
doing
oh,
great today.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
How Arthur does. Be able to make up for.
People would make up for it.
If he fails, I just like the idea that he's just getting angry at more fashion he sees.
Yeah, well, he nat one.
Oh.
This is ridiculous.
Oh my god.
He looks
Oh
like
my
an old
God.
man grumbling like that.
You guys sneak into what's currently a closed arcade room. Actually, it's not currently opened. It does seem like it's been opened recently. It's not dusty or dirty or anything, but there's nobody in here and all the stuff is off. And you can see out through like these kind of tinted windows to the outside, where there's some people walking around. He goes, I mean, really, there's somebody out there wearing sunglasses in the fog.
Babette claps her fucking hand on his mouth.
I don't think there's anybody in here. The
Yeah,
other
there's people
buildings I
out
don't know
there.
about.
She's also got
Then
me
you'll
drunk
just
up.
and you'll just do that silver tongue of yours and convince them we own the place. Come on, let's check out the other places. Maintenance thing that is shared between it and the building next to it. Give me another stealth check.
Fuck.
But
Oh no, I have
thank God.
advantage.
Okay.
Thank God for advantage. They got
One,
those
one.
boots. Don't you appreciate
Alright.
those boots?
Nice. A 21 and a 20.
Oh
So,
my
Oh,
God.
much better.
going through this one, it's currently also not open at the moment, but there was somebody here. It's a clothing kind of. You see the word discount on everything, and this big old lettered sign over everything, and it's just there's no organization to any of the clothes in here. You guys managed to pick through and grab a couple of items and stuff to be able to wardrobe everyone. And there was somebody there that was doing their accounting stuff. You could see them back there with this big old calculator punching stuff in, smoking a cigarette, going, and this quota wasn't so bad, I suppose. I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep the lights on, though. Business ain't what it used to be. Guys, gone past. Go ahead and give me another stealth check.
Oh my god.
I mean, so dang.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's above your passive, at least.
Okay, and you guys sneak into this alley that connects between the two of them, and also the alley that has the alley side access to your hideout. Right, so there's a brick wall behind you now that is a secret entrance into the garage. there's a bunch of like clutter and trash and like a dumpster and some cardboard boxes and stuff that are pressed up against all of that. So no one clearly has any idea that there's anything there. There's so much clutter blocking that. But there is somebody scrounging through some of the trash. At first you thought they were a child, but you can tell that they're just like a really impoverished halfling. And they don't seem to have noticed you. And Arthur kind of points them out, holds his finger to his lips, and he points up towards the roof. And go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
All right, good. That was what was
Better
needed
than
to
the
be able
last
to.
one.
And that's what was needed to be able to do it quietly. You would have succeeded with a 15, but you needed to do it quietly. You did it tiny ninja steps. You just scaled the wall and gracefully slip over the top of it. And
Oh no, Arthur.
Oh,
Oh, what? Damn, Arthur, got this.
with one step off the wall. And was quietly up on top of the roof next to you. There's a skylight that drops down below, and you can see it's a jewelry store. There are currently some people inside of this one, and you see through the sky window, that there's an attendant and somebody shopping, and choose not to sneak into that and get a good eye for what's in there. Looks like a lot of jewelry. And then across the rooftop to the next shop, on the other side, you end up noticing that there is looks to be a record store, and it's also currently open. There's some people inside. They've got weird little like headdresses that they're wearing, right? But rather than it going across their brow, it's going across the top. Maybe they're earmuffs, but they don't look like they're keeping their ears warm, despite the fact that it's winter. They're just rifling through records and stuff in the store.
Can you see
And
where the bubble
with me-
is?
Looking around it, you do get a good idea. You can see it's kind of like looking through water from underneath. Slight distortion to everything outside. And Arthur picks up a stone off the top of it and goes, well, now that we got a good idea of what the surrounding area is like, I'm going to see what happens when something goes outside of the sphere. I mean, things are going in and out like it's no deal. You don't even see it.
I mean, I have no idea what any of this is about, but I feel like it's different for us. I liked your idea of throwing something through.
Picks a rock and tosses it right off the roof. Goes right through it like it's nothing. Hits on the sidewalk, goes, oh, fuck. I was kind of hoping it would get incinerated or something.
Babette takes out a silver piece from her pocket and throws it.
Just grab like a regular old silver piece.
Yeah. Something that was on my person when I...
It toss out, and somebody in the street goes, hey, why are you throwing money from off of the rooftop like that? And look at you on the roof, and Arthur goes, hey, grouch about it, it's free money, what are you complaining about? Yeah, lousy silver money tosser. Pick up the silver piece and walk on, though. Well, I mean, we're not invisible to them. That says a lot. I was kind of curious.
Well, Bevis just like trying to hold it together right now. Well, we've done some exploring. We know what's around us. Why don't we return? I need some sleep.
Hmm. Yeah, all right. You guys head back. Arthur reports his findings. Get some rest.
Yep. Did Zarman and Fee hear anything on the radio that might be topical for this day?
A lot of songs play. A lot of different songs play. You test some of the other radio stations. There's only 3 of them, and one of them is all in Yelamite. The other one is in common, same as this one, but it seems to be a kind of a news thing. You listen to it for a little while, hoping to glean some information from it, because the other radio station was just playing songs. As for listening during this time, you put together that there is an event going on recognizing the anniversary of the death of the Queen, and that dignitaries from the Elamite Empire are going to be in the country, so political tensions are believed to be high. But then it kind of just mostly focused on general. After that, the news was mostly about companies that were making money and
Yeah.
stuff.
Keck does have comprehend languages, I think, if he wants to figure out what the Yelmite information is, if anybody brings it up to his attention, but other than that, I have no idea what he would want to do. So.
Yeah. I wouldn't know, but you know.
And it seems to
Whatever.
be that they're recognizing that the official statement you heard from the Elamite dignitaries arriving was something along the lines of, you they were saying something along the lines that they were here to recognize this moment of great grief, that the Queen was, an admirable person and a wonderful leader to her people.
Oh shit.
Ever be a beacon of, hope and positive stuff, right? So the Yelamite person was, very positive things about her. At the same time, it was being recognized that there were going to be political tensions in the country because of Yelam's presence there for the ceremony.
Yeah.
They're always there every year, and so these tensions are expected, because this seems to happen every year and has happened for a while.
Mm-hmm. So the Queen and this time fell. As Zarman says, mostly to himself, but Fee's there.
Oh no! Does that mean that Ardale lost the war?
Seems like it. But the Elamites seem to honor her still.
That they were the ones that killed her, right?
Well, even if you win the war, people still need a reason to follow you. When you kill somebody that they care about, you need to be friends with what's left. You never truly get rid of anybody.
Brow furrows. Bites her knuckle in deep thought. She'll like that for a little while after that.
Mhm.
And night passes. sunlight creeps in through that rooftop, and pick up with that Saturday, actually.
Okay.
Take a day.
And of course, whenever Baba and Arthur comes back. So it seems like an event will be happening here soon, apparently. And we'll just describe the whole honoring the queen. And of course, Yellowmite dignitaries are going to be there
Sure.
because the queen's
Yeah.
dead.
Honoring the queen quotation
And,
mark.
it's the third day that you guys are going to be here. Zale, you would scour over that for hours and finally be able to put it together. It doesn't require a check. It was merely time because it's your notes, right?
Yeah.
You can see that based off of what you've observed of this thing around it, that you are in what you had been referring to as a shutter space. It seems to be a natural occurrence that happens under certain really strange lunar events, and that will happen for the duration of that lunar event. And then when that lunar event is done with, all of you that were in that shutter space will be returned right back to when you left, the very moment. But 1 minute after it, you know that it is very likely, probably dangerous to step outside of it. You don't know what will happen, but from your notes, it seems to be advised against stepping outside of the bubble.
So my instincts were right. It's just like
Maybe
Stay in the bubble.
you theorize that maybe stepping outside of the bubble will make it where you don't get to return, so you're not certain. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is that you're wiped entirely from existence.
So Zell gets foreseeably over time worried and like glancing up to like where you guys left and being like, okay, they need to return back. They need to return
Heather
back.
is going to spend time in the arcade room.
No, I mean, yeah, he doesn't need
And
to sleep.
also,
He's like, fuck yeah. Fuck
not
yeah.
open on the weekends, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness.
Well,
So it's empty for the next several days. The entire time that you are in the shutter space, that arcade is not done. He's going to end up roping Zale into playing an arcade game against him.
alright. Well, in the morning, what she will do is
Alley fighter.
she will create food and water, and she's going to probably use the last bits of her the kelp tea for calm and positive emotions. It's like, okay, well, we all might be a little bit stressed out, but don't worry, I got still a lot of this stuff left to burn from Koiko, so she starts making some positive energy tea.
Arthur's just making himself at home now. He's like, this is where we live now.
Might as well.
Fuck it.
Until you inform him of the fact that you guys will all be returned after 3 days. Right now, he just thinks that this is the same shit that's happened every other time he's on.
Like hell.
We are now, until we're somewhere else. Until we're someone else.
We're in 1983, guys. We're stuck here. Let's go. Listen, we gotta adapt. We gotta adapt.
Yeah, that's just why he's so livid about the style of dress. Right? He's like, we're gonna be living here. We're gonna have to dress like that to fit in. Look like clowns. This has gotta be Fritz's fault. You see the 80s style. That shit is so tacky.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
On purpose.
Oh my god.
Alrighty then.
Arthur's running commentary about fucking fashion sense of the 80s is gonna be brilliant.
Oh yeah,
Necessary.
that's why he said don't look. It hurts my eyes. Just side glance,
Look at it.
peripheral. Fuck.
We can somehow get Zarman's hands on a hand mixer.
All right.
Just so we can make that joke every time.
Oh gosh, no. All right, I'm
I mean,
stopping.
there's-
I'm stopping the recording, guys. Just gonna hit
Cool.
something.